This is part 2 of my last video. You might want to go watch it so you know what's happening here. Enjoy! What the fuck, Bakugo? You screamed furiously. You just saw Deku's girlfriend and your boyfriend making out.
Wait, I can explain!
Bakugo screamed.
Oh, hell to the no! How long have you been doing this?
You screamed with anger. There was a silence.
Fucking answer me!
5 months.
What? 5 months. So you've been going behind me and Deku's back for 5 months?
You were so fucking angry. You furiously grabbed your phone from your bag and angrily dialed Deku's phone number.
Hey, Deku!
Listener-chan, I'm so sorry for what... You cut him off.
Do you want to know what the fuck your girlfriend Uraraka has been doing behind your back?
You yelled. You were beyond pissed.
No, don't, please!
Uraraka screamed. You turned the camera towards their way. You looked at Deku's face as his eyes were showing shock and rage. Deku ended the call. You were beyond confused. While Uraraka and Bakugo were trying to get dressed, you shouted at them.
So, how does it feel to be both fucking cheaters?
You were filled with rage. You couldn't see anything but rage.
Babe, please calm down,
Bakugo pleaded.
Don't fucking tell me to fucking calm down. Let alone tell me what to fucking do. And don't call me babe.
You heard Bakugo's bedroom door open. Meanwhile, through Deku's point of view, when I saw what Uraraka and Kachan were doing, I was beyond shocked, and my body was filled with rage. I quickly grabbed my jacket and ran towards Kachan's house. How do I know that they were at Kachan's house? Well, Uraraka and Listener-chan don't get really along, and only Listener-chan has a spare key to Kachan's house. I opened the front door and noticed it was unlocked. I ran towards Kachan's room, opened the door, and saw Listener-chan's face. She was shocked to see me. I missed her. I was wrong of accusing her. I looked at Kachan. I went to him and punched him. He didn't do anything. I went to Uraraka and slapped her. Her eyes were filled with guilt. I went over towards Listener and screamed towards Uraraka.
We're fucking over, you bitch!
Back to the Listener's point of view. Did Deku just swear? Deku grabbed your wrist and dragged you outside. You realize that you haven't broken up with Bakugo yet. You yanked back your wrist out of Deku's grasp and ran back into the house. Bakugo looked at you, his eyes telling you to come back.
Don't worry, Bakugo. We're over.
And with that, you ran back outside. From Bakugo's point of view, I regret it. I am a cheater, and no one will change that. When Deku grabbed Listener's wrist, my overprotective side entered. When I was about to scream, Uraraka spoke. Hey, Bakugo, what are we? Uraraka said, her voice shaking.
We're fucking done,
I said with anger. But then we heard footsteps running. I was hoping it was Listener. It was her. I looked at her with my own eyes, telling her to come back. She said,
Don't worry, Bakugo. We're done.
She said, then walked out. I was crying silently. Uraraka tried to hold me. I harshly slipped away.
Get the fuck out of my house,
I said, screaming. I hope we find our happiness again, Bakugo, Uraraka said. After she left, I started bawling my eyes out. I lost her. I lost my one happiness. Deku's point of view. Listener Chan yanked her wrist back and ran inside the house. I guess she still loves him, but now I love her. I can't live without her. I knew that I loved her because when she ignored me, I was upset. I just stayed quiet. I didn't talk to my friends. I didn't even kiss Uraraka. Listener Chan came back outside with a giant grin. "Hey, Deku, let's go back," she said while grinning towards me. "Listener Chan, I missed you. I'm sorry for not believing you. Now I know who I really love," I said while sobbing. Back to Listener's point of view. After you said that to Bakugo, you walked outside the house with a giant grin. "Hey, Deku, let's go back," you said while grinning towards him. Listener Chan, I missed you. I'm sorry for not believing you. Now I know who I love," Deku said while sobbing. "Wait, why are you crying?" you said, chuckling. "Because I missed you when you weren't talking to me. Listener Chan," Deku said, bawling his eyes out. "Deku, it's alright. I forgive you," you said, laughing while hugging him. "Don't laugh at me," he screamed at you like a 5-year-old boy. Okay, I won't," you said, snickering. You continued hugging him. He suddenly pulled away and crashed his lips onto yours. Uraraka's point of view. I started putting my shoes on. After putting them on, I walked outside and saw Deku and Listener kissing. It looked like Deku likes Listener more than me. I just hope Listener will take good care of Deku. I hope you forgive me, Deku. Please love me again, I mumbled. Deku's point of view. Oh my god, I kissed her. I felt her kissing back. I opened my eyes due to shock of her kissing me back. I saw Kachan looking at us from his bedroom window. I saw that his eyes were filled with sadness, guilt, and regret. I just grabbed her waist and tightened my grip on her, not wanting to let her go. It wasn't a heated kiss. It doesn't involve the tongue. Listener was the first one to pull away due to lack of air. Listener's point of view. Deku had just kissed you, but you're still confused on your feelings. Deku, you can court me, but please wait for me to get my feelings together, you said, almost crying. Of course I will. I will even until we die, Deku said while laughing. You just hugged him, and he hugged you back. 2 months later. You now knew that you loved Deku. You'll confess to him later, after class. Deku fetches you every day, because he told you at least he has to stay 24/7 beside you, or he will die. You were just hyped because you got to see him. Hey Deku, you said while locking your door. Hey listener, he said, almost saying babe. You almost fangirled, but held it in. Did you almost call me babe? You said, teasing him. Listener, don't tease me. He's such a baby. You're baby. Well, soon. At the end of the day, you had a question. Hey Deku, I have a question, you said while smirking. You were walking back home now. Yeah? He said curiously. What are we? You said, smiling at him. His face suddenly turned beet red. We're... I don't know. I guess you're my soon-to-be girlfriend, maybe, I think? he said, a little hint of sadness in his voice. Oh, I thought we were a couple, you said, smiling innocently at him. No, we are no. Wait. Are you saying yes to my confession? He said, surprised. Maybe, you said, smirking. Then what he did shocked you. He twirled you around while hugging you, then kissing you. Well, it's not the first time you kissed. You ended the day by going to a fast food restaurant. You woke up the next day and did your normal routine. You went downstairs and ate breakfast, gave food to your dog, and you quickly wrote 2 letters for 2 boys, and went towards school. You arrived at the classroom and scanned everybody, if the person you're finding is there. Luckily, you found him. You went towards Deku and gave him 1 letter, and went to Bakugo and gave him the other one, and went to sit at your seat. Deku's point of view. When Listener Chan arrived, she immediately scanned the room, finding something or someone. She went towards me and gave me a letter. Good morning, love, she said, joyful. Good morning, babe, I said, blushing. She chuckled. I looked at her, and she gave the other letter to Bakugo. I was jealous, but decided to read the letter. Dear Deku, thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being there for me ever since we were little. I have to admit, I had a thing for you ever since we started middle school, but knowing that you loved Uraraka, it hurted me. So I eventually moved on, and got together with Bakugo. I thought I loved him, but no. I knew deep within my heart, I still loved you. Don't get me wrong, I do love you. That's why you're my boyfriend. I hope we last forever. I hope we grow old together. I hope we will be there together when we graduate. And hopefully one of us will be the top hero. Even if we don't last, I hope we stay as friends. I'll probably kill myself just because you aren't mine anymore. So please, love me to the fullest. And even if you cheat on me, I will always love you, no matter what. Or if I cheat on you, it will be the day I kill myself. I love you. Your girlfriend, Listener. I was crying at the end of the letter. Yo, dude, Midoriya, you okay? Kirishima said, confused. Yeah, something went into my eye, I said while rubbing my eye. Okay, if you say so, Kirishima said while shrugging his shoulders. I just smiled and looked at the back of the letter. Bakugo's point of view. As Listener entered, she immediately looked around, maybe finding someone. Then she shut her eyes on me and Deku. I was hoping she would go back to me. She went towards Deku and gave him a letter. She muttered some words I couldn't hear, then went towards my table and gave me a letter, and went towards her table. Dear Bakugo, I just want to say thank you for loving me. You were there when Deku loved someone else. You knew I liked Deku. Thank you for always being there for me. I owe you a lot. You were the light when I was alone. I'm grateful that my mom introduced me to you. We were the best couple, until you decided to cheat on me. Why would you do that? Why? Was I not pretty enough? Was I stupid? I just don't get it. Why would you cheat on me? But I am also thankful that you cheated on me, because I have found someone that loves me, and I love him back. Thank you, Bakugo. Your ex-girlfriend, Listener. I didn't mean it to cheat on you. I was blinded. God gave me a precious gem to look over, but instead of treasuring it, I gave it up to chase a piece of stone. I want another chance on loving you. Please forgive me. Listener's point of view. After I gave the letter to both idiots, I looked at both of them. I noticed that Deku was crying, while Bakugo was muttering some words like Deku. I just smiled at them. Listener-chan! Deku screamed while running at you. You panicked and ran away. You looked behind you and Deku was still running after you. He finally caught you and hugged you. You ended up at the entrance of the cafeteria. Not noticing, all the people stopped what they were doing and looked at you. Yeah? What's wrong, Deku? You said while turning around to face him and hug him again, patting his head. His face was snuggled into your chest. I love you, he said. You remembered that you were in front of the cafeteria. Aww. All the people screamed, except for two people, Uraraka and Bakugo. You just smiled and ran away. Babe, what are you doing? Wait for me! You laughed and looked back at Deku running at you. Now everyone knows we're dating, Deku! You said, laughing evilly.